Yo, Greg, great video. Um, I just thought I would post. It's such an interesting topic. I think I have chocolate on my lips. Excuse me. Okay. Um, I hope you remember me. We met at VidCon. You're awesome. We got an interview, and I don't have any of the footage to use because it was just so uh, smells you butt. Just kind of took the limelight on that one. But anywho, excuse me for scratching my nose. I'm sorry. Okay. I have a girlfriend. We've been together for 10 months now, and I couldn't ask for a better relationship. So I thought I would just share with you and whoever's watching, um, basically in your video, you're asking for people to put a list of things that they want to avoid, things they don't want in a partner. And it's funny because I wrote a list a few years ago um, about everything that I wanted in a partner. And sure, some of the things were things that I wanted for them to not have, but most of it was just things I wanted them to have. And I think that makes a difference. What you're saying is there's nothing wrong with it, it's perfectly fine too, but I focused on, I want my partner to be smart, uh, to be into the same things I'm into. And I guess it's the same thing as saying I want my partner to not be dumb. I want my partner to not be not into the same things as me. So I guess it's the same thing. So I guess what I wanted to avoid, of course, was someone who didn't support me with what I was trying to do with my life, which was trying to be healthy and live sustainably, learn about permaculture, make videos on YouTube. Um, uh, One thing I just wanted to, I guess I'll keep going with that. Okay, I wanted my partner to be um, really comfortable with themselves and their body, someone who's aware of programming and conditioning, because so many, I mean, everyone in the world, from the moment you're born, even before you're born, you're kind of conditioned into certain mental patterns and emotional patterns based on society and the monetary status of your family and how your parents felt about their lives and things like that. For instance, someone whose parents felt like they were poor all the time and were always worried about money and had stress around those things, then you're going to be raised, there's a great chance you'll be raised thinking the same thing. So just to have a girlfriend that's aware of that stuff is very, very important because really, in my opinion, I think anybody could be anybody's partner, pretty much. The only thing that really gets in the way is our ego and us not liking them because of where they're at in their life. And really all life is all about is just meeting people where they're at. And if they're willing to meet you where you're at and then to go from there, then anything can work. And then from that point it's just all about communication and honesty and all that good stuff. I also wanted a girlfriend who, yes, did not smoke cigarettes. And if they did, I would consider that to be, I always thought, because I know a lot of cool girls who did smoke cigarettes at the time. And I thought, you know what? If they were really worth it or whatever, I would just say, ask them if they would ever consider quitting and if they'd consider quitting for me and I could help them through that. And if they want to do that, then that's fine. The cigarettes thing, no problem. But if they just want to smoke cigarettes, no thank you. I didn't want a girlfriend who drinks. They can obviously drink at an outing or even like something more special than just a party. And even if they go to the party, if they want to drink, I don't know, they're drinking things weird. Luckily, there's healthy, more healthy fermented beverages than just beer and wine and hard alcohol and stuff. So that's all figured out. My girlfriend doesn't drink. I want a girlfriend, yeah, who cares about her health. Seriously though, since I'm in the whole health scene, it's a little more specific for me. For instance, a girl who doesn't care about the type of water she's drinking, that's kind of a big deal to me. I wouldn't not be with someone because of that, but I'd want them to be open to learning about it. That's another thing, like you said too, someone who's open-minded. Because the whole point of a relationship is for two people to grow together and expand together. So if you're with someone who's not up for expansion and wants to just stay where they're at, then screw that. I still want to be learning stuff from my partner when I'm 90 years old, like the whole time. Every day I learn something from her, whether it's me learning about my boundaries because of how I reacted to her, or me learning about her boundaries, all that kind of stuff. Um, I think that's one of the most important things is just finding someone who you can be real with and literally saying things like this, being like, maybe a few months into it, being like, hey, I really, really like you, and I would just want us to have the best communication ever. Actually, making a good friend of mine, Jason, and his partner, Ellie, they made like a contract of sorts, and I'm putting it in quotes because it's not really a contract, but the whole point of it being is just stuff that they agreed upon together at that time that they could, for instance, if they're in an argument and they're not like talking, maybe they're away at work and it's just been a heated day, they'll send that to each other through email for them to read, to be reminded of the things that they've already agreed upon together. And it doesn't have to be really gnarly things, of course, but just things of like something as simple as like, uh, you know, we're both willing to meet each other where we're at. We're both willing to understand that if we're in an argument, that there's an opportunity for us to learn and grow from it, and that it's not the end of things. And it doesn't mean things are bad. It just means there's a dissonance, and we have the opportunity to harmonize it. Things like that. It's really about communication. So this is getting long. Thank you for watching if you did watch. Something I do want to recommend to you, Greg, which I had recommended to you before on Twitter, I think. I really hope you watch this. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% positive that you do. There's a book called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. And just the title can be misleading, like Superior Man, what do you know? What that book really did for me is had me understand where I am at with myself. And one of the main things he promotes is, for instance, because he does these workshops and he'll be talking to someone, a woman, for instance, who keeps calling in men into her life who are, there's this fundamental part about them that's the same, and that's the part that later on concludes to the relationship not working out. And what he realized, I'd say 99% of the time, is that she's calling these men into her life because of where she's standing with herself. So, more importantly, and I've seen your posts lately and times where you've been sad, and yes, it's not fun to not have a partner who's, whether you're gay or not, you're not gay, but I'm saying anyone in general, just to not have a partner, someone you can be touchy with, even if it's someone you're not having sex with, even if it's just a really good friend who you can watch movies with and you guys can cuddle and things like that. That's just nice. So I understand that you've been going through that. But one thing that, because I really see, especially getting to meet you in person, I really respect your intelligence and I respect who you are as a person and what you're doing with your life. I really want to encourage you and invite you to instead maybe write a list of all the things about yourself that you're happy with, and maybe all the things about yourself that you're willing to change or willing to grow from, and see where you're standing with yourself. And the whole thing David Data says, it's like you take everything about yourself, the good things and the bad things just meaning things that you're still willing to learn from and maybe change and just learn from, whatever, and you make this pillar. You make a pillar, you could even think of it as a staff of like who you are as a person, you staying grounded in your own truth of who you are, and you stick it in the ground. What's great about this is you can still always change what the staff's made out of, but it's stuck in the ground and it's you and it's your truth. And that is when you manifest your perfect partner, or the perfect partner for you at that point in your life. Because when you are rooted in who you are as yourself, and I'm not saying you haven't done this yet, but the analogy helps in the visualization. The whole point is when you have that truth and you're rooted in the ground, then people can come by and maybe they want to grab onto for a bit. They want to experience what it's like to be with Greg, and Greg in his own power and his own truth of who he is and his mission in life, his purpose in life. And that's very, very powerful, because the moment I decided to do that, I manifested a partner who wanted to join me for the ride. the right of me as myself, my mission, my purpose, you know? I hope that made sense. I guess to sum it up one more time, it's like writing a list of what you don't want in a partner, very good thing to do. Writing a list of all the things you want in a partner, another great thing to do. And also, writing a list perhaps, or just really meditating with yourself. I'm using that word lightly, meditating. Just being centered in yourself as who you are as a person and your truth and where you're at in your life right now and standing with that full-heartedly. So that way, when someone does come into your life, you don't settle just because you might be lonely or because you really want someone. You settle for someone who sees you in your truth and is just completely taken back by that. Someone who's just totally, sees you in your truth and cannot help but just drool over you, And you have a lot to offer. So that's why I'm bringing it up for you in this way. You're intelligent, you have a career, you reach thousands and thousands of people with positive messages of self-transformation and empowerment and motivation. You're one of the most awesome dudes that I've seen through YouTube, and I'm so grateful to have met you in person, and the fact that you retweet some of my tweets or just respond to them, very cool stuff. So thank you for taking the time to want to manifest a partner who can help you grow and expand, and that you can help grow and expand and just make each other's lives better. Another David Data thing, thanks for watching. This is getting so long, but I'm very passionate about this stuff, and I'm just very grateful that I have a partner that's willing to go through all this with me. 3 stages to relationships. 1, you need someone to be happy. 2, you don't need someone to be happy. So here, the best example is to show this with a woman, thinking you need a man to be happy. You need a man to support you and carry you and be your, whatever, to be there for you when you're not strong. And then there's the stage of maybe in your late 20s, 30s, a woman's like, I don't need a man to be happy. I can be an independent woman. I can be happy all by myself. And I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything like that, just giving an example. And that's when women, are rooted in their career, and they like to just, have fun with their girlfriends and maybe just respectfully and safely just have sex and have fun, They don't need a man to be happy. They're just taking care of themselves, and that's great. And men go through the same thing, And then the 3rd stage is when you're totally fine by yourself, completely, and being with someone opens you up more than you could by yourself, because they're there to be that reflection, to be the nagging little thing, to be the argument, to be the things. Because when you're fully grounded in your truth, those arguments and those nagging little things and the little issues are only making you stronger and expanding you more. So I really hope that, I've seen previous tweets and videos where you're sad, and those are examples of the 1st stage where you kind of need someone to be happy, and that's okay. That's the whole point. It's okay. I've been in that stage plenty of times. I'm still in that stage, being with a girlfriend who expands me more than I could be by myself. Sometimes I feel like I need her, So I really want to support you, and I know there are times, like you've even said lately, like you feel so good about where you're at. And that's the 2nd stage, not needing someone to be happy. And I'm looking forward to you being with that person who is also in stage 3. They're okay without you, but being with you, their life could never be the same. And you're okay without someone, but being with someone, your life will never be the same, and it only gets better. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go now. Whoever watches this, all my ThoughtPilot subscribers, you'll probably watch this too. Leave a comment. What do you think about relationships and all this stuff? I'll leave a link below to David Data's book. You can get it on Amazon. I'm hoping it's less than like 20 bucks. I'm sure you'll like it, Greg. I really think you'll like it. Thanks for everything you do. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. I love you. Bye-bye.